Ultimately,
Yeah.
this is up to 200 kilowatts worth of cooling.
Which one do you want?
200.
200 kilowatts worth of cooling in a rear door. The way that we work it is ultimately with the equipment the way it is right now. Obviously, we've got warmer air than we've ever had before. So we have a heat exchanger in the back of the door. Water that runs through that heat exchanger comes through and then is passed into the room at a room temperature. So, and I'm going to ask the question, Celsius or Fahrenheit is better for you? Celsius? Because you're Korean, right? You can work in Celsius?
South Korea.
Yes, yeah, so Celsius is the centigrade for temperatures. So typically, you know, you would have a room temperature, say 22, 23 degrees. The air coming off of this is 22, 23 degrees. So it gets rid of 100% of the heat. And actually we're doing quite a lot of work in South Korea at the minute.
I don't know exactly. I'm not professor.
No, it's fine. No, sorry, we're doing quite a lot of work.
25?
Say again?
25?
Yeah,
10
fans.
Sorry, say that again.
12 fans.
I think South Korea data center is setting 25 Celsius.
Oh yes, Celsius, yeah, absolutely.
So this
for the
is
air temperature, yes.
Your high density,
you can change this to have whatever you want, but
no need for
ultimately
immersion or submersion. You can basically move air across the.
This is server.
Standard cabinet, yeah. So all of the cooling is absolutely here.
Good question, right? So
Scott's just going to quickly. Are we okay to
very smart man.
just give you a scan?
Yeah.
You notice the depth.
Perfect.
In the data center, floor space is king, right? So
Wonderful. Thank you very, very much.
Yeah.
I used to work for LG, so I love South Korea. But yeah, so
Please let me talk more slowly because I'm South
sorry,
Korea.
apologies, that's my fault. No, I used to work for LG Electronics, so I went to Korea a few times and I really enjoyed it there. Yeah, absolutely. So the air is pulled through from the back of the equipment, passes over the heat exchanger, which is very, very large. Typically around about 70% larger than anything else in the industry right now, and then gets put back into the room at the right temperature. So we have two sets of redundant temperature sensors, and ultimately what that allows us to do is if one of those fails, the other one takes over control. And then on the secondary side we have air off temperature sensors as well. So basically we are controlling the room temperature by what comes out of here.
I'm wondering about this SC is a popular cooling liquid cooling system.
Yes.
But your system is not liquid. How about your system advantage?
Yeah, so ultimately there's a few different advantages. The main one, if you're comparing it to a chip level or immersion,
cost is the advantage.
So the main advantage is that you can get rid of 100% of the heat still at very, very high water temperatures. So if you look at an immersion or a direct chip system, they get rid of maybe 70 or 80% of the heat, and you still have to have something else to get rid of 20 or 30% of the heat that's in the room. If you compare, so to maintain a 25 degree ambient room temperature, you could have water to this, let's say you were doing 150 kilowatts, you could have water to this at 23 degrees C. Now Korea is obviously a very hot and hot ambient environment, but still for probably 80% of the year you would be able to get free cooling through using a cooling tower or something like that, and it is doing 100% of the heat negation. Whereas if you're working with like I'm going to say immersion because it's the easiest one, you know, that additional 20% or 30% you then have to use, you know, a normal computer room air conditioning type system. Now ours, if you take that 20 or 30% that you have to get rid of extra, that uses more energy than just the door to get rid of that
your system. How about the PUE factor?
We have sites at the moment that are PUEs of 1.035.
Oh really?
Yes.
Very good.
We're very, very fortunate because we can work at that higher temperature. It means that we've got a huge amount of variation in how we can do the water. So that site that is at 1.035 actually uses a borehole So yeah, absolutely. It is, and it's very easy for me to say this. But I'm the technical guy. It is like for like the most efficient thing on the market today.
Thank you so much.
No, honestly, I appreciate it.
Yeah. Can I upload the YouTube in Korea?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Thank you.
Absolutely, no problem.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Set up your configuration. You got a passive door that does 30 kilowatts, so no power, no fans whatsoever.